You don't know me if you don't think I'm not going to play the electric slide, talking to Liz Webb Hebert about what's going on with the issue with LUS and everything else. Liz Webb Hebert, the chair of the LPUA. I know she was doing the electric slide in her living room just now as we started talking to her. So good morning, Liz.
I wasn't doing it before. I'm certainly doing it now.
There's no better way. By the way, I'm a pacer when I'm talking on the phone. Like if I have to be on the phone at home or I'm on a meeting, I just can't sit. I gotta walk around. I try to contain myself to my office here, but so anyway, it's totally acceptable for you to do the electric slide, Liz. You just knock yourself out. So
got it.
Last night we had this presentation. We were laughing yesterday because it was very clear to anyone who wanted to come and have a conversation before a vote happened that last night was not the vote. And I think everyone pretty much got the message on that. And it was a good presentation and a lot of questions. So let's just kind of start with you. You share you're the chair of the LPUA, which is you make up of 5 council members, and then you also serve as a council member as well on the council at large. So what are your thoughts on the deal? Anything new or anything that you think just was maybe explained better in last night's meeting that hadn't been before?
It was a great presentation. They did a wonderful job of explaining what they were offering and why. They had 6 gentlemen from the company to come, and each took their own turn on whatever their specialty part of that deal was, easily broken down for everyone to understand, even if you didn't understand utilities. I think the biggest takeaway and the biggest concern that everyone had, well, 2 concerns. The first one being what's going to happen to the employees. And they said in their proposal is that they do not lose any benefits. They will not get a decrease in salary. No one will be let go. Everything will remain. They're saying they will remain in the same jobs. Nothing will change. So I think that was a big sigh of relief for the people who work at LUS, because anytime these kind of conversations start to happen, there's a little bit of uncertainty of what about me?
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I think that was great. No matter what if we even do anything, I think that's the most important thing is that the employees are taken care of. The other really...
Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say just the other really important thing was that not just the customers of LUS, but the employees of LUS are taken care of, but also the customers as well. And they gave the impression and told us that we should not see any changes. One of the things they did say was that if anything, we should expect to see as residents a decrease in our bills by 10%.
Okay, so I want to ask about the jobs thing because that was obviously something we heard a lot about before. And, I don't know that you could ask any other business owner. I mean, it may not be the plan, but every business is kind of governed by how the business operates into, how much staff that it needs. So is that realistic? I mean, it may not be their plan on the front end, but I mean, things could always happen. I mean, things could happen here. Things could happen in any business across Acadiana.
Mm-hmm. Right. You're right. And that's the point I made last night was that none of us have a crystal ball.
Yeah.
So we can't predict the future because a concern of mine was it's great that you're telling us that rates won't go up. If anything, they're going to go down until 2020. And I said, what happens on 2022? Are you just going to raise our rates the 10% plus 20%? Or what's going to happen? And the answer to that, according to Mr. Bernhardt himself, was, that could happen to you right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that didn't exactly help. I was hoping that he would have some insight, but for me,
the thing is too, even if that did happen or that was in discussion, there'd be a lot of conversation about that.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, and I see why you were questioning also, because and there's no ever any guarantee.
No.
Do after all of this, there's been so much discussion, so much hashing and rehashing. There was this presentation, and those folks were very nice to come and give their information. Is there, is there really one big thing that jumps out at you that says that you really feel like this is something that we need to do as owners of our utility system?
not really. I think the presentation was great. You know, the idea of having a Fortune 500 company come to Lafayette is always appealing and beautiful, and you know, the presentation all in all was great. I love LUS. I love what we have. We have a great utility company. Since I've come on the LPUA, I have even more of a love and appreciation for the company. The employees that work there are complete rock stars who work as hard as they can. Like a woman who spoke last night had pictures of they showed up at her house at 4:30 and didn't leave till 7. They stayed and got the job done. Yeah, because it's about our customers. And you know, I can understand if we were a failing utility company that was horrible. We were always having blackouts, and but we have such a great thing. So if we're going to entertain anything, it's got to be the most incredible opportunity out there. Yeah. So we'll see. I'm always willing as a council member to keep an open mind, but always.
So but, how does
it's got to be something pretty spectacular.
Yeah. How does Entergy play in now with their announcement yesterday that they want to be a part of the bidding process for a management deal?
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to apply to what Councilmember Boudreaux said at the end of the night was, you know, we welcome anyone who wants to come and propose anything to LCG. That doesn't just apply to this at the utility level. Anything. You know, as council members and administration, we should be keeping an open mind on any possibilities that can come our way. So I know Entergy and other companies have expressed interest now that this has kind of opened Pandora's box, if you will, of any opportunities to come in and place any kind of RFP, or not RFP, but just any kind of bid, any kind of proposal. They're certainly welcome. I mean, they've kind of seen what the expectation is now. So we're certainly open to suggestions. So we'll see what happens.
Will a vote, though, be held off for them to do the proper studies that they want to before a vote happens on Bernhardt?
Yeah. Yeah, so as of right now, there's absolutely no plans to do any kind of voting on this kind of proposal anytime soon. So this is simply, like Councilmember Boudreaux is the one who requested the special meeting because he wanted to just get this information out there because there was so much out there in the community, is there, isn't there, that he wanted to just bring this out, put it out there, and then we walk away or we eventually decide to vote. But at this time, we all left the meeting saying, nice proposal. Thank you. So there wasn't any discussion on any kind of future votes.
All right.
But I certainly don't think anything like this is something we want to rush either. So I don't anticipate anything coming anytime soon to the LPUA.
Well, I think you've just reassured a lot of people who thought like this vote was going to happen on Monday. Or, you know, I mean, we knew it was, and we've been reporting that, but it does seem like we heard about it. I specifically remember we heard the news that when it came out, we were actually in Alaska. So between that time and now, we have heard, you know, their presentation to Rotary. We've heard their presentation now to the LPUA. So I guess it's just another step in the process.
Yeah, and maybe they can go and try it somewhere else and then come back with a presentation and saying, okay, this is the other community we did something in. I mean, just kind of throwing that out there.
Yeah, because one of the things that he did say in the Petroleum Club presentation was that there was another city that was vying for the same exact deal as us, which we still haven't heard what that city was. So I don't know if it came out last night. I didn't get to watch every little bit of last night's deal. But, you know, there's just a lot of unanswered questions at this point. But I appreciate your time and your insight on it, Liz. Thanks so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.